you doing, guys? It's the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association of Warren Boxing Management and Seconds Out Coffee. Today, I'm very ecstatic. I've got a very special guest, someone that I admired all my life, watching his career, and a fellow Italian like myself. It's Enzo Maccarinelli. Enzo, buongiorno. How you doing?
Buongiorno, sta bene.
Good. Enzo, first of all, how's things? How's life in retirement, and how's things like watching great boxing recently from home?
Well, to be honest, struggling a little bit. I had COVID about 8 weeks ago. Didn't think nothing of it. I got through it, trained every day. But now long COVID's hit me, so just a bit draining, bit out of breath. Still training, but not doing as much as I can. As for the boxing on TV lately, brilliant.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I got it twice as well. I know what you're going through as well, and hopefully it will pass soon. I'm glad that I see you seem okay, so I'm glad that you're all right.
Yeah, just a bit drained, bit out of breath in the nights. I've good days, I've bad days. It's been 8 weeks now, so hopefully it's not too long.
Fingers crossed. Let's start with over the weekend. We saw that amazing fight. Tyson Fury dismantling Deontay Wilder. What did you think of this fight? And is it one of the best heavyweight fights that you've ever seen?
It was up there. It was brilliant. My favourite fight is obviously Bo Holyfield one. Round 10 was amazing. We've got some great heavyweight fights as well. But no, that was up there. It was a terrific performance by both men. Fury's just a warrior. He come to fight. Deontay Wilder, no matter what you say about him, the man has heart. He had no quit in him. And let's be honest, he was gone from the third round onwards. He was on autopilot from the third round onwards. He was absolutely wrecked. And a great performance by both. But ultimately, as we all knew, Tyson proved he's the better fighter.
A lot of people gave Wilder no chance. Do you think he made the big mistake for bulking up? Because for me, right from the beginning of the third round, he was just gassing out already. I think the muscle.
It was the bulk up. It was for me. It was the tactics as well. I think I put on a group. I think I put on Twitter. He from the start he loaded up on every shot. He loaded up on the jab, the right hands to the body. People were saying the jabs were working the body. They weren't. Tyson didn't fall for it. He didn't bring his hands down for the right hand. But what he was doing, he was throwing them jabs on those right hands. But Tyson was constantly moving backwards. So he was taking the sting out of the shots anyway. So for me, it was a lot of wasted effort. If you look at the one time or the two times that Deontay caught Tyson, he caught him coming in. And so, I think it was a bad game plan. I don't think the result would have changed in the slightest. I think Tyson would have adapted to whatever Deontay come with. But Deontay just loaded up. He wanted to take Tyson out. You're not going to take Tyson out unless you catch him clean coming in. And even then, as you've shown, he can get back up as well.
Yeah, of course. A lot of criticism has gone towards Wilder's team. I know from the last fight, he fired his team, all this excuses about spiked water and so on. They knew not to throw the towel in, but do you think it was a big mistake to let him take all that punishment?
It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard one. It's with Deontay Wilder, he can switch your lights out in the blink of an eye. And he was still dangerous up until the time he got out. So it was a hard one. As a cornerman, seeing him, probably would have. But then you look at the fact that he could take Tyson out at any moment. So it's sort of like a catch-22. You don't want to see him taking damage as a trainer, but also one shot could finish the fight. If he was a non-puncher, he would have probably pulled him out round 6, round 7. So he was having an absolute battering. But he showed his heart, he showed his grit, he showed his determination, and he showed that he's a champion.
100%. I think a lot of respect has to go to Deontay Wilder, despite the result, because a lot of people would have not survived those shots from Tyson Fury at all.
No, not at all. And even the first one in the third round, that was a nasty shot on the side of the ear. He went down, got up, recovered, and put Tyson down himself in the fourth round. Yeah. Like I said, it was a quality fight by both men. And I think I said in the day, money's on Fury. Fury's going to win. But I did say it was going to be harder than the last time. And it certainly proved to be. And, Deontay Wilder come in there. He wanted to win. He wanted to beat Tyson Fury. He wanted his belt back. But unfortunately, the better man won. And he'll always be the better man.
How excited are you for the potential of Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight, and it's a fight where WBC have ordered it. But let's get it right. Dillian Whyte's got to beat Otto Wallin first, who's a lot better than people think he is. He's a technical southpaw. He's 6'6". I think Dillian himself, he wants the Fury fight. He's been calling that fight out for a long, long time. But I think Dillian's a smart man. He's not gonna overlook Wallin. He knows how dangerous this could be. I can't think of Dillian Whyte actually fighting a southpaw. So this is new territory for him as well. So I don't think he's going to overlook Wallin. He wants the big fight, but he's got to take care of this first.
100%. A lot of people, they think that Otto Wallin's an easy fight. They got another thing coming, because if you look at Dillian Whyte's CV, I truly believe technically, just out of boxing, like just down to boxing skills, this is his toughest opponent.
Yeah, 100%. I think just being a southpaw as well, just being a southpaw, using his range, I think he could be possibly one of the biggest, tallest he boxed as well. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I think Dillian's going to win, but I think it's going to be a lot harder than people think, because a lot of people don't watch boxing. They just hear things. They just see little clips, and Otto Wallin's a serious contender. Yeah. He's a serious challenge with Dillian Whyte, and like I said, Dillian wants to fight with Fury. He wants that WBC chance. He's been mandatory. He's mandatory now. But he will not, or I'd like to think he would not make a mistake of looking past Otto Wallin at Tyson Fury, because that's when mistakes happen.
No, I totally agree. And all respect to Dillian Whyte, because anyone that's in his position, that they know they're just one fight away from getting a title shot. To be fair, he's only taken this fight just to pass the time, because he's already number one contender. Anyone in his position.
I think he took this fight before he got announced as mandatory.
Yeah,
I think that's the case. So it's a fight for Dillian Whyte. It's a good fight. It's a fight that I don't think it actually prepares him for Fury, because of the southpaw stance and stuff like that. But we have to wait and see when Fury's going to be ready to fight. So it could be 6-8 months. Dillian Whyte don't want to be hanging around 6 to 8 months. He wants to keep active. And like I said, he's not going to overlook Wallin. It's a good fight. It's in a couple of weeks. So he's going to be fully focused on Wallin, and then as soon as he takes care of Wallin, or hopefully he takes care of Wallin, the fun begins, because I think the pressers and the social media back and forth is going to be epic.
Yeah, we look forward to that. And over the weekend, we heard that Anthony Joshua activated these rematch clause with Alexander Usyk. How do you see this rematch going? What does AJ have to do to get into this, to put things right?
You got to be aggressive. You got to fight like a big man, but you got to be smart as well. You can't just go wading in against someone like Usyk. He needs to be smart. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to hurt Usyk early. Because when I watched the fight with Usyk, from the first round or the first 2 rounds, Usyk took his shots off him. When he threw a shot, Usyk knew he was a little bit faster. He timed him. Every time he made him miss, he countered. So from round 3, round 4, if you watch the fight, Anthony Joshua was throwing jabs, and then jabs, and more concerned in getting back to his face rather than actually landing a shot. So that made him hesitant to throw him. And I think Anthony Joshua's got to do sort of the same to Usyk, but in a different way. He's not going to outspeed Usyk. He's not going to be able to time him to the extent of making him miss and counter. But he's going to have to hurt him early, and make him hesitant about coming in. If he can time his attacks right. Because Joshua's got a longer reach than Usyk. So Usyk's got to get inside that range. He's got to get inside Joshua's range to actually land the shot. So if Anthony Joshua can time him coming in, hold his ground, time him coming in, he'll make Usyk hesitant to come in.
What's your actual prediction for this fight, if you was a betting man?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I think I rate Usyk. I don't think I don't think Andy Joshua had the right game plan last time. I think you got to put a lot of things right. There's too many people in the corner giving him directions, and I couldn't hear quite clearly what everyone was saying. But you've got 3 different people in the corner, all telling him different things. You're going to be confused. He needs one trainer to be in charge, take care of everything. He's the boss, and then we see from there. But he knows he boxed wrong. And personally, I think Andy Joshua is he's a competitor, and I think that it got to him when everyone said that Usyk can't be outboxed. Andy Joshua can't outbox Usyk. So I think he tried to go along the line to show people he can box, like he did with Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is nowhere near Alexander Usyk. So I think things need to change in the camp. I think things need to change in the plan. I think he needs to come in a little bit heavier. I think he needs to be more aggressive. But again, he can't be wild. He can't be reckless. He's got to be aggressive with a bit of finesse, so to speak.
We look forward to that. Hopefully, it'll be a better fight than the first one. Before we move on from the heavyweight division, just one question back to Fury. An old foe of yours made some comments and called out Tyson Fury, Mr. David Hay. Do you believe he actually wants that fight, or is he just trying to stay relevant?
I don't think he wants that. I don't think he wants that fight. He's been out the ring a long time. He's picked Wilder, who he says is the most dangerous fighter on the planet. 3 times against Fury. All right, he was a draw the first time, but the other 2 times he obliterated Wilder. So I don't know whether he's skint, he needs the money. I don't know.
Let's move on to a division that you were heavyweight champion in, the Cruiserweight division. Domestically right now, it's just a really good division. You got the likes of Lawrence Okoli, Chris Billen-Smith, the return of Richard Riakporhe, Mikael Lowell. How excited are you for this division at the moment?
Yeah, obviously I'm watching them. I speak to a couple of the boys as well. Forget Tommy McCarthy as well. Don't write off Isaac Chamberlain as well. He's still about.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter. Obviously, Okoli's top of the tree at the moment. But just below him is some good fights. Jack Massey just got an IBO title shot as well.
Yeah.
So it's all going well. Like you said, Lowell, Billen-Smith, McCarthy, Riakporhe, Massey. It's some good fights. It's some really good fights to be made, and on a domestic level. And I hope these boys start getting these fights. I like to see. I'm a big fan of Riakporhe. I think he's a good fighter. I think he needs to get out a bit more often. He's been out too long. Again, to be honest, I'm a big fan of all of them. So they all come to fight. They all come to entertain. I thought Billen-Smith McCarthy was a great fight. I thought it could have gone either way. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see Isaac Chamberlain in the mix. It's some good fights to be made.
Another one, unfortunately, he's plagued with injuries, is Dijon Juma as well. A very big talent, big talent. And if he was to come back into that mix, it would just be an unbelievable domestic fights to be made there.
Yeah, Juma, he's light heavyweight when he started. He's come up the cruiser. And like you said, it's some good fights to be made. And, if Massey gets this IBO title, I know it's one of the lesser ones, but it's still a title. People will be wanting to try and fight him for that. It's an IBO belt will be like, I wouldn't say a stepping stone, but it'll get you fights you wouldn't have without it, if you know what I mean. So it'll get you better fights, give you more educational fights. But these boys all around that level, they're not going to be educational fights. They're all going to be in there to win. They're all going to be in to be the one under Okoli. So when Okoli goes, when he goes up the heavyweight, or if he loses the belt, they're the next in line.
If Breedis wins his next fight, can you see that unification with Okoli happening?
I don't know. I'd like to see it. Because let's be honest, Breedis is the closest to beat Usyk. So the levels there, the quality is there. I'd like to see it. You've got Junior Makabu as well. You've got some good fighters at the top of the tree, and I think Okoli Breidis would be the one for me. I think Okoli could use his reach and use his length against Makabu. I think he could stop him coming in just by that extra bit of range. But I think Breidis is a good fight. Brace is a very good fight. He's a good fighter, and you know, I think that's a pick-em fight.
If Jack Macy wins the IBO title, would you like to see the rematch with Richard Riakporhe?
Yeah, he would. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I want to see them all in with each other. You know, I put all that. I think anyone can beat anyone at that level. You know, like I said, Bill and Smith, McCarthy was close. We got Riakporhe. We got Isaac Chamberlain, who's looking good at the moment. He needs to get out more. He hasn't been out for a long time. Like I said, I talk to these boys all the time on Twitter and stuff like that. They're good lads, and you know, they're all striving to get a world title, which is what we're all in this game for, or what I was in it for.
Yeah. They announced today Mikael Lau was going to fight Stephen Ward for the eliminator for Bill and Smith's British title. How good of a fight is this, and what's your prediction for this fight?
Good fight. I don't know. I think I could edge towards Ward. I think Ward, he's a good boxer. I think he suits him better up at Cruiserweight. I think he was cutting too much weight for light heavyweight. He looked very drained against, I think it was Bullock next when he got stopped.
Yeah.
And you know, I could edge towards Ward, but it's a good fight. It's a dangerous fight, and you know, again, another interesting one.
Super middleweight division. Just one question: is Canelo going to make history against Caleb Plant? Is it as easy as everyone says it's going to be?
I don't think it's going to be easy, but I can't see Caleb Plant causing that many problems. He got fast hands. He got a good mover. He's not a bad mover, but he's orthodox. I think with Billy Joe Saunders, he's sort of like Plant, but with the southpaw stance, and I think that caused Canelo problems. I can't see Plant causing him that many problems. I think Canelo's going to walk him down. He's going to do what he does. He's going to bust his arms, bust his ribs. I think he's going to stop Plant between 8 and 9.
Can you see him going up and ruling the light heavyweight division as well?
Don't know. I think he brilliant performance against Kovalev. I worked that night, me and Andy Clark, and it was a great performance. But that's a Kovalev who just nearly got knocked out by Anthony Yarde. Even though he won every round, he nearly got knocked out in that one round. He won the Kovalev of old. He won the Kovalev of fought Andrew Ward, and someone like a Berbetiev is a different kettle of fish.
The fact that Callum Johnson is the only one that knocked down Beterbiev. Canelo, no disrespect to Callum, Canelo obviously technically is better. Can you see him causing problems to Beterbiev?
Yeah, of course he can, because of the movement. But if you think of the Callum Johnson fight with Berbetiev rushed in. Callum Johnson's a puncher. He's a big puncher, and he caught Berbetiev coming in. And that only seemed to piss Berbetiev off rather than anything else. Canelo, he's a different style. He's not going to be loading up on shots. Callum Johnson just loads up on his shots. When someone's coming at him, he just loads up on his shots. I'm a big fan of watching Callum. And I think Canelo's definitely... And I wouldn't rule Canelo out beating him. I think Canelo is that good. But I wouldn't be as confident as I am of Canelo beating Plant or many other super middles.
Let's talk about Italian boxing. How great is it that, you know, you see it on DAZN and Italian boxing is becoming more popular now compared to 12, 15 years ago?
Yeah, Italian boxing has always been popular, but it's not been popular over here. So at least with DAZN now, they're showing Eddie Hearn has come in with DAZN. They've got the shows out in Milan, in Italy, and Lombardia is where my father's from as well. So it's some good fights. Some good fights I've been watching lately. It was I can't remember the two names, but it was a fight on the other week. It was a cracking scrap. I think they went hammer and tong for the 12 rounds. And you know, it's showing different cultures, different countries, and it's showing some good boxing.
Yeah, it's amazing. My dream is to bring boxing to Sicily, if I'm honest, where my family's from, and to bring it all in every region in Italy, and you know, give them that exposure. The Italian, some of the boxers who are very talented and don't get the exposure. It's amazing that DAZN has given that opportunity to Italian boxing.
100%, mate. 100%.
One boxer, obviously, like the most popular Italian boxer, is Scardina King Toretto. Is he one to look out for the future? Can you see him going all the way?
I don't think he's fought the level yet to see where he's going. He's looking good. He boxed well last time out. It was only a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. But he hasn't fought anyone fringe or anyone. How do I say, to show that he's capable of going to the next level. It's like when you how would I put it? When he first started off, you fight these journeymen who can survive, and they can go in, they do 10 rounds, they can tuck up tight. But then you have someone like me, or not referring to myself to the Canelo or stuff like that, but that sort of level where I would absolutely wipe the floor with them, even though they've gone the distance with all these top fighters. I would go in and just fucking obliterate them in a round, or someone like a Bailey would obliterate him around, David A would obliterate him around. So then you go in next place. If we can whack, he hasn't shown that yet, and I think at the higher level you go, I think that lack of real punch power will let people down.
I would love to see him come to the UK and test himself. I speak to Lerone Richards, and I've said to him, like, I would love to see you fight King Toretto, or see him fight with a Willie Hutchinson or a Lennox Clark or a Zach Chelly, just to test himself out.
A Lennox Clark or Chelly, now that would be a good fight. A Lennox Clark or Chelly, that would be a brutal fight. Because Scardina, he comes to fight. So yeah, it would be great to see. And you might see with the zone getting him on pop out in Italy, they might want to bring him over to test against one of the young guns. But yeah, boxing's thriving at the moment. It's nice to see.
Is one regret of yours never fighting in Italy?
No, yeah, I boxed in Italy. I boxed in Rome. Undercard of Johnny Nelson Cantatore. It would be if I was still fighting now, I'd be ringing Eddie Hearn every day, get me on one of them Milan shows, Lombardia show. Like I say, it's only about 30 minutes from where my dad is from. So I'd have loved to do that. I boxed as an amateur as well. I boxed a couple of times as an amateur, but in Italy, when I used to box in Italy at my age, with the way you used to do it, you couldn't box till you was 14. But when you were 14, you could box seniors. So I went over to Italy and I boxed 2 seniors at 14 years of age. So it was just bonkers. Like I got battered the first fight, absolutely battered. Shut my eyes and swung in the last 30 seconds and knocked him out.
The thing is, with that, you gain, even with that experience at 14, that you gain that. It's good to gain that experience that young as well, and get the rounds in as well.
To a certain extent, but
to a certain extent, not the eyes closing, but the actual experience.
Those men they were a different kettle of fish. The second fight I had, I got battered again, but I didn't pull that out. But they gave me the win. How I got the win, I don't know. It must have been because of my dad. But I sort of gained my experience. I couldn't get fights at my age. I was knocking kids out from the age of 12. I'd knock kids out. So I used to get my experience 13, 14, 15, sparring pros. I remember being Nicky Piper's chief sparring partner for Darius Mikocheski when I was 16. I was sparring all top pros. I was banging out pros. I was banging out seniors. I just loved to fight. And it was mad when I look back at my career, and I know I've achieved everything anyone's ever wanted to achieve, but no one's actually seen how good I am. And that's not me blowing my own trumpet. You see me coming in the ring, throwing heavy shots, fast hands, good movement. But in the gym, I'm a totally different fighter, and I've always wished I could bring to fight night what I do in the gym. Then you see a totally different, a classier fighter, a more skilled fighter. But unfortunately, I love the crowd. I love knocking people out. I used to get in that ring. I see the red mist, the Italian red mist, and I just want to knock people out.
No, you achieved so much in your career that, if some of the boxers these days achieved half of what you achieved, they'll be happy with that. But you said you like to box. Seeing these exhibitions and seeing these YouTubers fight, etc., celebrities, do you ever get that itch to come back?
I had an urge to come back for the last 5 years. I've kept myself in shape. I'm fit. I'm strong. And to be honest, it nearly happened not so long ago. But every time I get myself into a position where I'm ready to fight, where I'm as good, not as good as I was in a prime, but as good as I was 10 years ago, my punch power, my punch output, my running, all gone better. Something happens to me, sets me back. I had a little injury, then this long COVID. So, you know, some higher power, some guy upstairs telling me not to bother. So I train an amateur club. I got offered to train Ebony Bridges while she was over here as well.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I enjoy that side of things. And so maybe someone's telling me, as for an exhibition, I'm just not interested. If I was going to come back, I'd do it properly. No, I wouldn't entertain an exhibition. And you know, when I seen Vito Belfort knock out a 60-year-old Evander Holyfield, that riled me. And I think if I was in a better shape, not the COVID and the injury and stuff like that, I'd probably bang all over social media, because I wasn't too upset that he knocked Holyfield out, because that's what he had to do. He was in a fight. But I think it was a way he celebrated after beating a 60-year-old man. Just really, really riled me. So we never know.
But despite his age, did it hurt you more that it was someone that, you know, I'm sure you looked up to, Evander Holyfield, and the way it happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't have had no problem at all if Evander Holyfield fought Mike Tyson. I wouldn't have had no problem at all if Evander Holyfield fought another guy his age, or roughly around his age. I'd have no problem. Like, I had no problem with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. I had no problem whatsoever. You know, I said that if they were going to come back, people don't realise the buzz you miss. And if they were going to come back, I'm glad they're fighting each other rather than some young up and comer. He's not up and comer Belfort, but he had a lot left in him. You know, Holyfield's health has deteriorated over the years. You hear the way he talks. He shouldn't have been allowed nowhere near a ring. But again, if he was fighting someone his own age, I'd have a lot less to say than I would if he was fighting a guy like Vito Belfort, who's, although not a boxer, he's very good with his hands. He's very heavy-handed, and he's 43 years of age. 17 years Holyfield's junior. That's a big difference.
You said you wouldn't come back. Just to let you know, I interviewed an old foe of yours 3 weeks ago, and I asked him would he do another exhibition. He said if the money's right, he would do it. Roy Jones Jr. Is that so?
I won't go near Roy. I'd be honest, I thought I killed him last time, and that's no thing. They picked me. It was a lot of thing I seen recently that people said it was supposed to be an exhibition with me and Roy. It wasn't supposed to be an exhibition. They picked me. They told him that he would have a world title if he beats me. And I told them when I got there, I'd done a pad work on the open workout. And I think when I started doing the pad work, I think their mouths dropped and they must have realised, oh, he's come to fight. He hasn't come to lay down. So they picked me, hoping I unboxed that weight for 5 years. I was an ex-world champion. They picked me to get the win, get me knocked out. I went to the weigh-in, shook his hand. I said, absolute honour to fight you tomorrow. I said, but you made a wrong choice. I will knock you out. And he laughed, and I said, I will knock you out.
And you proved everyone right.
Yeah, I told everyone, and they tried their hardest. They done. We got to the room. We got in the change room. There's all bottles of water there with all the tops open, so we didn't touch that just in case they put something in it. They called me to make the walkout to the arena. Then they made me wait for 30 minutes in the foyer in the freezing cold. Then they played the English national anthem for me going in. Just try to do everything to wind me up.
Yeah.
You know, nothing bothers me. They tried to change my gloves as well because I broke my hand about 8 weeks before. So I had a pair of custom-made gloves by Adidas. They're a bit more padding, just to protect my right hand. And the night before the fight, Gary Lockett phones me. He said, Enzo, you better come down. They want you to wear these rival gloves. I said, Gary, I can't. I've got to wear my Adidas. He said, just come down. So I said, look, I got to wear my. He said, just come down. So I come down. I put these rival gloves on when I got to my chin, and they were like breeze blocks. And I went, yeah, go on then. So as I was walking up the stairs, Gary texted me, and the first thing he said was, "Silly bastards wanting you to wear them gloves." They were like breeze blocks. So as soon as I knew I was going to knock him out anyway. But when you give me them gloves, it must have been. You pretty much could feel you fist through the glove, like.
Well, luckily you got to wear yours.
Yeah, I'd won a kid. I'd have knocked him out either way.
Before I let you go, Enzo, just your take on Carl Frock as well. He's come out and said he's training. He wants to fight an exhibition. And one name that came up is Joe Calzaghe. Can you ever see that happening? Can you see Joe ever doing an exhibition?
To be honest, no. I think he's happy in retirement. He's had a bad couple of years with his mother and father passing away.
Yeah.
So no, I can't. I think he's happy. Some people just need it. Some people don't. It was a time for the last 5 years that I needed it. I needed to get out. I needed to fight. I've done loads of sparring. I won't mention what I've been sparring. I've been sparring some good boys, and I've been handling them easy. But it come to the point now where all these injuries have told me, don't bother us. But I'm happy. I train boys. I like to work with some more pros. I wouldn't mind training Ebony again. Have a bit more time with her. And no, I just feel good. Apart from this long COVID.
Hopefully you get better, mate. But one more thing, just your take on some Welsh fighters. First of all, Rhys Edwards, very talented fighter. How far can he go?
He can go a long, long way. It's hard to say how far he's going to go yet because he hasn't had that many fights. But very talented. I remember doing his corner years ago in the amateurs. Someone didn't turn up to help him, so he asked me to jump in his corner. So I've always been around the amateurs. Very, very talented fighter.
How long until you think he's ready for that British title level?
It won't be long. I think he just needs a couple of step ups, just to get to see what he's like under pressure. Have some gut checks and stuff like that. It's hard to get him a gut checks. I think he's that good. I think he's a very talented kid. And it's been a lot of talented kids come from Wales, but one thing or another, they haven't gone on to do anything. And it's not just about being talented. It's not just about training. It's all about diet. It's all about. It's just everything. And unless you can do it all, you're not going anywhere. And I think Rhys is the type of boy, he is trying his best to do everything right.
Yeah, huge talent. Hopefully he can go all the way. Another one is Jay Harris, another very talented fighter, but fell short against Ricardo Sandoval. He's only 31. Can he still go on to win world honours?
I hope so. He's from Swansea, same as me, and I always told Jay that it's been too lonely being Swansea's only ever world champion. So I hope he can do it. And Jay, he says he's 31 years of age. He looks like a 12-year-old, hardest 12-year-old we've ever seen. And I hope he does. I hope he gets the chances. Just unfortunate for him, he had Martinez in his first world title fight. Then he had an eliminator with Sandoval, who sort of shocked people how good and how strong he was for such a young age. Just a hard division.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in that because I would have loved to see Sonny Edwards versus Jay Harris. I think that would have been a really good fight.
Yeah, and Sonny's full of respect for Charlie. I've got a lot of respect for many Sonny, but Sonny's a very good fighter, a very good boxer, and Sonny's going to be very hard to beat.
100%. And another one is Lee Selby. I know, obviously, 34 years old, fell short against Cambosos. It could have been him against Teofimo Lopez. Where does he go from now?
I can't say too much, but I took Ebony down to Selby, and we had a good chat after. And he got offered something, which will, if it comes off, I don't know if it still is, but if it comes off, we'll put him back in there. And if he gets that win, it would get him something big.
Hopefully, I'll love to see Lee get at least another title shot. He deserves it.
Yeah, of course.
Liam Williams fell short against Andrade. He brings in the crowd. He brings excitement, explosion into his fights. How excited are you to see him get back into it, especially against, I don't know, a Chris Eubank Jr., for example?
Well, Liam's one of my friends. We've trained together. We've sparred. We've smashed the food in after the weigh-in. Liam's a really good boxer. He's a nasty little fucker as well, but he's a really good boxer. And Andrade was just that little step too far, too soon. But I think Liam started a bit too slow. I think if he'd got the pace up quicker, because he troubled Andrade towards the end. And you know, he showed his level, he showed his heart, and he's calling Eubank Jr. out. Yesterday he called out Berlinga. You know, he's exactly, and you know, he got a big set of balls. Liam had. He would fight anyone, I think. But for me, I think him versus Eubank's a terrific fight.
Yeah, that's what I love about Liam. He just would fight anyone and just wouldn't care. He just wants to get in there and just have it out.
Oh, we've always been the same. When we first sparred, he come at me like a lunatic. I said, "Oh, calm down, now, Liam. A couple of stone heavier than you. Calm down." So he's a good fighter, good boxer, very well skilled boxer, and he has plenty of heart. He can punch with both hands, and he's got a little nasty streak in him as well. And Liam's one of the ones I really want to see him do it.
Look forward to that. One more person, really nice guy, was really unfortunate not to get any fights in during COVID and fell short against Usyk, is Chris Jenkins. Where does Chris go from here?
I don't know. I was there. I was doing the fight when he boxed Esselman, and I thought he was boxing well. And when the fight actually stopped, I was going mad at the ref. I think, what were we stopping him for? But as soon as he stopped him, I seen Chris turn round and sink into the ropes. So I spoke to Chris. I spoke to him the next day. He phoned me, and he said he had his rib broke from the second round. So if you think of how good he performed with a broken rib, you know, it's sort of tell a story. And Chris is just unlucky with cuts, and you know, as Chris is a good boy. He's a fucking lunatic, but he's a good lad. He trains hard, and I'd like to see him get another chance, and I hopefully he gets it.
100%, a really nice guy. I've interviewed him a few times. A true gentleman as well.
Yeah, lovely boy, Chris is.
Is there any other Welsh fighters that we should keep our eyes out for? At the top of your head.
I think everyone you see at the moment, I think they're all there. Obviously Joe Cordina as well. You know, he's my
of course, yeah.
I like Joe Cordina. You know, he's been at my gym as a youngster. Lovely kid. It was one boy that no one's ever heard of. Alex Hughes.
Alex Hughes,
the most talented kid I've ever seen. He was unbelievable. You can ask anyone who sparred him. He is absolutely phenomenal. But he had a certain injury. I think to do with his eyes has actually stopped him boxing. He's, you know, I would have loved to have seen Alex, how good he was. And this how good Alex is. Excuse me. We should do like a Shark Tank, where I would go in the ring and I'd have 4 boys, one in each corner, and I'd do 40 minutes non-stop, minute. We're only lighter boys, so I'd have to compete with them with speed, no power. I'd have to box with them. And like I said, I'm a good boxer. But every time Alex come in, he caused me a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So after about 12 minutes, now Alex was on his 4th round. So as he got close to me, I hit him with a body shot. I never talk about who I dropped in sparring, but I'll always say this with Alex because it sounds good. I had to put him in his place. He was giving me that much trouble. I had to put him. I remember hitting him with a body shot. He hit his knee. I said, "You fucking stay down, you little bastard." But he was that good. I had to give him a clip just because he was causing me so much trouble, and not many can.
That's unfortunate that he couldn't continue his boxing career. It sounds like an amazing talent.
Oh, brilliant. You know, I've seen him spar everyone. George Groves, Eubank. I've seen him spar everyone. He was wicked, he was.
Enzo, before I let you go, do you have a final message for the fans, like myself as well, that used to tune in and did travel to your fights as well? Do you have a final message for them over the years?
That's a message. I think people see me on Twitter. They see how appreciative I am of people who've followed my career. You know, and that's what I like about Twitter. I get to interact with these people who've watched me all these years, and you know, they can see that I'm just a normal person. I love a bit of banter. I love a bit of jokes, and you know, it's just I'm just so appreciative. I've had all the support over the years. You know, someone who's retired like myself, I still get a good following. I think people still love to see me fight again. I always get good feedback when I do the commentary and things like that. So it's just a matter of, I'm just appreciative of everyone who've ever followed me, and all the love I get on Twitter. Even the Melvins, I like to call them, even them who give me shit, they're all part of it as well.
Brilliant. Enzo, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure to finally get to speak to you. And I hope you get better, and we'll speak soon.
Brilliant. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye, buddy.